morning. Happy Friday. It's John Ponick with the Mojave Valley Daily News, and this is our daily dose for Friday, April 16th. All right. The Daily Dose is brought to you by the Tri-State Radiology Center in Fort Mojave, Arizona. The Tri-State Radiology Center offers a wide-open, large-bore, John-sized MRI to scan larger body sizes up to 450 pounds. In addition to the MRI, they offer digital x-rays. Tri-State Radiology Center is an American College of Radiology accredited facility. So call them today at 928-460-7226. And remember, at Tri-State Radiology Center, your image means the world to us. All right. Right off the bat, let's jump into our breaking news. Board votes not to renew Catalfano's contract. They had a special board meeting last night after the information came out that the school district was looking for a new general manager down at the Anderson Auto Group Fieldhouse, sorry. So they had their special meeting last night. It was originally supposed to be a quick meeting where they would make a motion, vote on it, and get out of there. There was no call to the public or anything, but they ended up changing that, allowing the public to speak. There's about 30 minutes of impassioned pleas from Ed's supporters that they do not, that they do renew his contract, not let him go. They also weren't going to allow Ed to speak, but they ended up doing that as well. Apparently, Dr. Burgess, Carrie Burgess, who used to be on the board, several times had shouted out from the audience and that the board was not following its own policies. So he was. It was threatened that Dr. Cardone was going to stop the meeting and until Carrie Burgess left the meeting. Because of the amount of problems that he was calling there, the interruptions. But they didn't. They ended up going through and doing the vote, and it was 3-2 voted to not renew his contract. Dr. Cardone, Carrie Faring, and Artie Loxman all voted to not renew, and Ashley Garrich and Lori Crampton voted to renew it. We talked yesterday about we weren't really sure why or what happened because it was handled behind doors in executive session. But last night, Ed said in open meeting that the board wanted to renew his contract, but with a $20,000 pay cut. He said he couldn't accept that. And then he also said that he didn't feel he was being treated fairly. So there you go. People were questioning why they weren't renewing it. Now we know the board wanted to cut his salary. Ed did not want to take a salary cut. And in the end, I guess the board did what they thought was their fiduciary responsibility. And judging by what they've got going on and the way things have been going, it seems understandable. All right. We are going to probably on next Wednesday, I'm going to get somebody from the school board on here for our Q&A. So I don't know if it'll be Carrie Faring or it will be Dr. Cardone or somebody, but we'll get somebody on here, hopefully. Our other breaking news is Dan awaits sentencing after murder conviction. This is Benjamin Dan. He is 25. He was found guilty of killing Kirkland Roach of Kingman. He is one of two defendants. The other one is Alfred Talavera of Kingman. According to the story here, Dan and another guy, Alfred Talavera, had kidnapped Kirkland Roach, taken him out behind the airport, and beat him to death with a hammer. Both Dan and the co-defendant, Talavera, apparently, according to Dan, both of them were part of this. So it appears that Mr. Benjamin Dan is testifying against his co-defendant there. He faces 25 years to life when he is sentenced on May 7th.
Another bad guy.
Another bad guy. All right. RX Take Back Day, April 24th. We talked with Lori from the police department, their marketing person, a couple weeks ago about this. This is April 24th. It's National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. It's a Saturday. The site will be over at the Bullhead City Police Department from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. All medications collected will be turned over to the DEA for proper disposal. They said last year they did this nationwide, and they turned in close to 500 tons of unwanted drugs. So there are limits. They'll collect tablets, capsules, patches, and other solid forms of prescription drugs. Liquids, including IV solutions, syringes, and other sharp objects, and illegal drugs will not be accepted. So you cannot turn in illegal drugs, you cannot turn in your syringes, but you can turn in all your prescription drugs, solid prescription drugs. So they also pointed out that the Bullhead City has a permanent and secure prescription drug drop-off slot in the lobby during their regular business hours. So that is this Saturday, right? 24th? Next Saturday, the 24th, from 10 a.m. to 2. All right, moving on. We have our Student Athlete of the Month. This is River Valley senior pitcher Chloe Spitzer. She went 6-0 in March with 3 shutouts, allowed just 1 earned run. She had a no-hitter, and she hit .524 with 11 RBIs and 7 walks at the plate, and she has a 3.0 GPA. So you know that we are big Chloe Spitzer fans here. We cover her pretty routinely, but she's undefeated still. I think you saw us post the other day that she had a perfect game. Faced 15 batters, struck out 15 batters, and also had a couple of hits. So she keeps rolling on. I think that she's probably going to be one of our prime candidates when we get to our ACES Awards here in a couple of weeks. Pause extended for J&J vaccine. I'm a little confused by this story. That we know that there was a pause, and they expected it to be a couple of days while they investigate what's going on. They had, out of almost 7 million vaccines, they had 6 people who had developed blood clots. They weren't sure if those 2 were related or not, or if there was some other mitigating factors in there. They're still investigating what happened. The confusing part about it for me is that we got news yesterday that the county was going to be getting some J&J vaccines in next week. So I don't think this may have superseded that. Denise Burley, our the head of the Mojave County Public Health Department, said that the Mojave County Department of Public Health will await the outcome of the investigation. Until the pause is lifted, we will only receive doses of the Moderna vaccine. So I guess the news that we got earlier yesterday saying that we were going to be getting some J&J vaccines to go with the Moderna ones, maybe they're getting them, but they're just going to leave them in the fridge. Seem about right?
I guess so. I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
I'm probably not the best person to talk about
No, that's right.
I woke him up. I'm sorry.
You are not allowed to talk vaccines or county for a while. You are in timeout. And then we got some information here. Arizona changes tax code to match U.S. on COVID relief. It's kind of a short story here, but it's basically that the Governor Ducey signed a bill that would match what the federal government is doing here in Arizona when it comes to taxes. Some of the important parts, they're exempting federal Paycheck Protection Program loans from state income tax and providing a state income tax exemption for the first $10,000 in unemployment insurance benefits received in 2020. So good news for people that have been really affected by that. We don't really have anything in Today in History other than our newspaper from a year ago.
Yeah, I have that.
We've got a story there showing what was going on. We were.
I don't have that. I apologize. I thought I had it up, but we weren't going to show it, remember?
We were deep in the middle of the coronavirus panic a year ago. Basically, what we had on the cover was a picture of the Malk graduation, and we also had some information from the mayor about how the community is handling the COVID pandemic, so how we were handling it. So good morning, honey. Good morning, Mandy. I'm sure I missed a couple more there.
David,
Brenda.
Brenda.
I knew Brenda was in there. Where's Amy? Amy's not on there yet?
She hasn't woke up yet.
What
She'll
the
be there,
heck?
though. She'll be there. Mandy's up.
We got some great news here in the nation and world stories. We got U.S. rebound gains momentum with layoffs down and spending up. Our unemployment is down. It was down to 576,000 after we had already. That's the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits last week. The sales at retail stores and restaurants jumped almost 10%. So a lot of really good news there. I didn't mention our breaking news sponsor, huh? Way back when. I'm going to mention them now because that's how I am.
As long as we mention them, they like to be mentioned.
That's right. Breaking news is brought to you by New Image Primary Care. Now scheduling appointments within 7 days, so call them for an appointment. In sports, we have this young man, Ryan Hill. He is a senior over at River Valley High School. He's a golfer. You see him there with his parents.
And sports is brought to you by?
It's Friday. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lewick at Desert Time Realty. Call Mike today for the service you deserve and the people you trust when buying or selling your home. Sorry, Mike. I owe you a drink.
He's tired. I tried to wake him up. I tried to tell him to splash some water on his
Coffee?
face.
I think somebody might have made
it's not strong enough or something. We got to get some more coffee in that batch.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's decaffeinated. So, Ryan Hill, he's here with his parents, Lindy and Toby. He is signing a letter of intent, or in this picture, he signed a letter of intent to attend Tabor College in Hillsborough, Kansas, where he will study business management and marketing. So congratulations to him. He shot a 34 a week ago or so, which for me, that's about 5 holes. So good for him. And then we also have a couple of pictures of the Mojave Valley Junior High School opening day. We have Zachary Parker. They're taking a good cut in the Little League, in the baseball side of things.
I'm wondering, was that a strike or was that a hit?
I think it's gone.
Or
I don't
you
see
think
the ball
out
there.
of the park?
I think
out
he
of the
crushed
park.
it.
Okay.
I mean, he got his hips into it. Look at, he's got his weight on his back.
Very
foot.
nice swing. Yeah.
Yep. That's his
Maybe
head's down.
Maybe out of the park on that
Yeah,
one.
I think he.
All right.
I think he went yard there.
Good shot.
And then in the next picture, we have 7th grader Tamari Williams. They're both of them played against Needles. Both of them lost, but athletic director John Moss said there were easily over 150 spectators in attendance, and the energy was incredible. So, congratulations to them. Cole Young, the school superintendent out there through the first pitch. We need to try and get. Oh, Amy's there. Good morning, Amy. You're a little late, but okay. We need to get some video of some of these superintendents and dignitaries throwing out the first pitch. I'd like to see some of that.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Cole Young looks athletic, though. I think he probably nailed it. We got a couple things in our leisure section that I wanted to point out. The first thing is Ducey signs bill expanding gambling in Arizona. It's an Associated Press story. It's pretty long. It talks a lot, and when I say something is pretty long, like I looked up and the editor is over there grinning, like you actually called a story pretty long. I apologize. It's really not that long, and as long as it gets all the information, that's all we really need to know. But it's got a lot of really interesting information about some of the things that they're expanding, or that he had signed the bill expanding on. It was a bipartisan bill, which that just doesn't happen these days. So that was awesome. But it's talking a lot about gambling on pro sports and how that's going to happen. They're talking about expanding the tribal casinos to allow them to do table games, which we haven't seen before. So not sure if this is going to affect our area at all. We do have one tribal casino on the Arizona side down there near my house, Spirit Mountain. They don't have any table games, so maybe that's something that they end up doing down there. And they also talk about gambling on pro sports. Now they have some sort of affiliation with, I think he had said 10 professional sports teams. They'll be able to have gambling either at their facility or nearby. So it's pretty interesting. It's expected to raise at least $100 million in new revenue for the general fund. So that will be interesting. And then we have NASCAR.
Vroom, vroom.
You're my NASCAR guy. I don't know the first thing about. I mean, I know it's
They turn left.
Turn left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always left, though, right?
You always left, yeah.
Okay.
Unless it's a road course. They do race
Then
on
you-
road courses.
Then you could be all over the place.
They can turn right as well, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't do those figure 8 races anymore.
No.
It's weird.
That's dangerous.
Very. Yes. So their pick to win, they're at Richmond this weekend. Their pick to win is Kyle Busch.
I picked him last week. He didn't win, but whatever.
So your pick this week,
Brad Kozlowski.
Brad Kozlowski. Right now he is 9th in the standings.
I know
Busch-
he's not a favorite. It's okay.
Busch is 11. So
We'll see
you
what
said
happens.
Kyle Busch, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There's Kurt and Kyle. They're from Las Vegas, too. Those are our local boys, NASCAR racers.
Is that what? Oh, maybe that's why. Well, I don't know. You could make up a name and say, I want.
He wants him to
Regina
win,
Flange
and
to
you
win.
would agree. We get it.
All right, weather. We ready for weather?
Let's do it.
Weather is brought to you by Living Waters Hospice, your hometown hospice. Together we can make a difference. Good morning, Brenda. Oh, Brenda is with you. She's the candy man. David, who's the candy man? All right, in weather today, it's supposed to be upper 80s, light breezes. Same thing with tomorrow. Upper 80, light breezes. It's sunny, but pretty much the same through the whole weekend. But as we get into Monday and Tuesday, it looks like it's going to start heating up, 89 and then 94. So it's going to start heating up early next week. We'll see if that is a permanent thing or if that is a
Or if those hundreds are going to
temporary-
come back.
Yes, we'll see how close those hundreds are.
All right.
Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is the candy man.
Uh,
All right.
Yeah.
I'm guessing-
M&M's
I'm
back.
guess- Oh, I see. That's his sponsor.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. So I
You're learning. You're doing good.
qualified this by saying I am not a NASCAR guy.
Yeah, that's where you saved yourself.
You
You're
could
fine.
ask me about a football game from 25 years ago, and I could tell you exactly how it went. I couldn't tell you the first thing about Well, the first thing is drive fast, go left.
Yeah.
But
That'll work.
all right, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Get out there and do things out in our community. It's going to be a great time down at the river. We got a big fishing tournament going on Saturday, right?
Yeah,
Striper
we'll have
tournament.
we'll have some footage of that. We're
We'll
going
have
to
some
try to do a
coverage of that.
live of that, Mike, right? We're going to try to get some live stuff up. Mike's going to be out there Sunday. So, yeah, we'll get some good footage of the fishing tournament.
So you can look for that. And then we will see you here on Monday. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Remember, this is brought to you by the Tri-State Radiology Center. They offer same or next day appointments, and they accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal. They have a wide-open MRI and offer digital x-rays with your reports ready in 24 hours. Please call them today for an appointment at 928-460-7226. Mike, Jeff, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you Monday.
All right. See you guys.